It's empty right now, but it won't be with you. Johnny. Watch these kids. Victor. You never put one in there? It's here. Can I drop one in there? I'm sorry. It's not trying to cheat.
Sarah Adams.
Who?
Será bien, pero le van a dar las cosas. La que está.
No, but his name's Loudon Utica. He does car stereo.
Y no le dieron.
Needed more. Want a basket? Awesome. Get a turkey. I know, it's right. Got that far.
And chain smoking in the church.
You not to do that. No. Are you done?
No.
Are you done?
Hi, so, it's really Monday night, and I was supposed to make a video last night. I really don't know what to say. Like, there's so much going on in my head right now. Okay, so, like, okay, so on my church experience yesterday, okay, so like, Pastor Jared was talking about how, like, Moses had a tent, and he said in your dry spell, you're going to be in a tent, but then wait until God takes that away and shows you the promised land. And that really spoke to me. And again, God obviously talked to me. He does it every stinking week, I swear. And I was so tired. Oh my goodness, you guys. I was so exhausted that I totally forgot about this. And like I said, I had to stand. During the service. So I took some of the bulletin that was on another chair that nobody was using. And oh, God said you reap what you sow. You sow what you reap. And I totally forgot about it. And then I asked God to tell me that again so I could write it down. And I'm still really disappointed about Saturday. And I'm learning more and more, and especially for the church people, that people disappoint you like there is no tomorrow. And it kills me. Like, when I got there on Saturday, I was looking all over for Tina. And then I knew the other volunteer wasn't going to be there. But she told me, well, the only way I found out was because I asked her. After she and I planned this out, and she said, oh yeah, that's a great idea, oh yeah, blah, blah, blah. I can take the stuff to the SPCA, blah, 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 right? Okay, fine. So I asked her, I said I needed a head count, and she goes, yeah, I won't be able to go. I'm like, oh, okay, thanks. So nobody came, and, well, get this. This is what Pastor Jared said, which is amazing to me. All right, some of you obeyed God. You stepped out, and it doesn't look like what you thought it might. Hint, hint. Wow, if that's not God talking to me, then I don't know what is, right? It's easy to wonder what you're missing when you're still being built and there's more sacrifice. And you know what is so weird? Jared was talking about sacrifice, and I had put that on the papers that I had wrote down notes for next year. Or should I ever do something like that again? And that's something I wrote. Yeah. Oh my goodness, look at my hair. It's horrible. I cut it way too short. But anyway, yeah. Even if you don't feel it or see it, pray. And praise before it happens. Right? Let me see what else there was. I think that's about it. Confirmation after commitment. Move and I will confirm. So talk about discernment, right? Have faith when living. And do you really believe when you pray? And I thought, that's very interesting, So those are all the good things that I wrote down in the notes. But get this, okay? So okay, right before we sang the last song, which was Oceans Where Feet May Fall by Hillsong, I believe. Okay, we never sang that at church before, and it's a song that makes me cry. So it's a very strong song. And so I quickly went to the bathroom, 2 seconds before that song came on, and I saw the production team in their computers, and I thought, oh goodness, what are we singing now? Waymaker, that one, Blessed Assurance, Jesus is Mine. Not the old hymn, the newer version of that. Anyway, yeah, I look like I have a wig on, but anyway, yeah, so I didn't really get to see the lyrics all that well, but I saw them enough to think, oh, that's a new song, you know? And I went to the bathroom. I come back into the church sanctuary, and guess what? They're playing and singing the song. I was baffled, you guys. I started crying so bad. Like, wow. And then, I got to thinking about, like, the whole song, the lyrics of it. I step out where feet may fail. There's obviously more to it, and any other time I would come up with it, but right now in my head I can't figure it out. But it was just mind blowing again. I swear to God, mind blowing, right? So I guess the point I'm trying to make here is that I'm not done yet, but I was very hurt. I mean, I'm over it now, but I kept having so much anxiety, especially at the church and at the church dinner, thinking, I can't do this anymore. I can't, I can't, and with all the nonsense that happened and stuff like that, I don't know. I'm thinking that maybe it's time to branch out and go somewhere else, like church-wise. But yeah, if I do that, then how am I supposed to go to, like, Syracuse, right? And feed the homeless, right? I don't know. I mean, I don't know. There's so many people who take advantage. And, I thought about that in my head. Like, maybe this city is, like, too full of poverty, too poor, too... I don't know. A lot of people don't seem to have the money, And I should have thought about that before I did any of this and stuff. And I found out that our church last year tried to have a toy drive, but again, they just didn't have the money, and so I'm thinking that maybe that's a huge obstacle in this area, and maybe this isn't what God wants me to do. I still believe that, you guys. Like, I don't know what to say or think. I mean, there are towns with more money, obviously. My last church that I went to, half an hour away from here, seemed to have a lot of money and, like, donate a lot of stuff during Toys for Tots. I did like a clothing drive. I got a ton of clothes. I mean, so many clothes your head would spin, seriously. And, like, this church, they don't do anything. They don't have it, That's, like, the problem. And I don't know. So I'm thinking maybe this isn't. And then I hear all these problems about, like, these homeless shelters and how, like, the mental problems people have and the drug abuse and, stuff like that. And I think, how would I handle that, Like, can't we just have, like, a clothing drive and, like, a huge room of a clothing drive? And maybe, like, pet supplies and the food bank and the Teen Mom Center. And maybe even, like, like a cat sanctuary, or something like that. And forget the whole homeless shelter thing. I could have like see, and that's like another thing that I had thought about too, is like having a bunch of showers for the homeless, right? Yeah, that's a lot of money and a lot of water and a lot of whatever, but they need them. But yet again, and this is something that happened at dinner church yesterday. Somebody had a needle. Somebody was a drug user. And they dropped the needle in the toilet and flushed it. What would I do if something like that happened? How much money is that going to cost to fix? There are so many problems like that. And, maybe not the cat thing, the cat shelter. So, I don't know. So early on, either because, again, that's going to be costly. Vets, spay, neuter, whatever, food, water, the whole nine, And I'm not trying to say that I doubt God, but yet again, yes, I do, don't I, right? I must, right? If I say things like that. See, like, this is what the overthinking does to me. I'm still wondering if this is something that I'm meant to do, I don't know what I'm called to do. I don't think I'm gonna have another collection day like that. I thought maybe I could do it every year, but now I'm like, not really. Oh, and some random person gave me a ride. Yeah. Usually I don't do that, especially if it's a man. But this time I was kind of desperate because I had 2 big bags that I was carrying. They were really heavy. And I thought, and I was about halfway there. And I thought, that's it. I'm just going to do it. And he gave me his number and said, call me if you need a ride back. Which I thought that was like really generous of him. I thought it was really weird too. But, yeah. Anyway, those are just the things that I have thought of. And, I don't know. This is just crazy. I gotta look at this cover of this because I'm thinking that maybe I know these people on the front. They have like 4 different sister churches. Yeah. I know one of them that I can see, but anyway, not like that matters, right? So, anyway. Oh, and there was one other thing, because I wrote down more notes from earlier, and I don't even know when this was, but I wrote in the Bible, I'm in Joshua now. Alright, I just started that chapter, and I read the verse, be strong and courageous, right? This was before the whole drive and everything. And, guess what? There was a sermon, I swear to you, that said the same thing. So, like, how weird is that? Every time, it seems like, every time I listen to, read the Bible, and I get some idea, and then all of a sudden, I listen to a sermon, and boom. So, yeah. Basically, I don't know what to do. So, I just wanted to say that I feel like, I failed miserably because of all of this, stupid drive stuff. And another thing is that I just thought about this. What if this was like a test to see if I would say yes, and to see if I would do what I was called to do? I mean, God only knows what in the world is going on, but I feel like I failed miserably because I threw this together as like a last minute thing, and it didn't get anywhere, obviously, so I feel like really responsible for it, and I don't know. There's another song by Hillsong, and it's called Available, and I've been listening to that and bawling just right now. Take a listen to that. See what you think. So, like, I've been applying for several different jobs right now. I usually apply for like food service things. So I'll let you know if I got anything. One was at the college, which is just down the road. I pass it every time I go to the library. And another one was at McDonald's. I really wanted to go out today and get some books or whatnot, but it's so cold and it's raining, so there's like no point in doing that, because, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's like not working. Unfortunately, it's supposed to be like 90% chance all the time. And, I was still hoping I could, but that's okay. Maybe tomorrow. And then Thursday's Halloween. I was going to say, oh my goodness, Thanksgiving. And I'm going to my brother's girlfriend's house. Yeah, she's the one who gave me all those clothes that I just got rid of the rest of them at the clothing drive church. Yeah, there were a ton of them. But anyway, and there were even more than what I had. Like, I probably took half of what she had. She had all these Tupperware, oh my goodness, Rubbermaid, bins worth. I mean, tons of them. And, my brother showed me a picture of her house. She lives in a mansion, and she has like 12 Christmas trees up every year. 12 Christmas trees. And, yeah. So, unfortunately, my brother lives with her now. He didn't until like September, so, yeah. He moved in with her in September. No, I think it was October, maybe. I don't know, whatever. It was just recently, and, yeah. She has a son that is not my brother, so my brother's like a stepfather. Well, he could be if he was married, I guess. I don't know. I don't understand how that works out, but whatever. Anyway, yeah. So I don't know if I dare record, but I will try to. I don't know what's happening for Christmas, if I'm going there or what. But, yeah. I'm kind of nervous. I'm kind of anxious to meet her, you know. But whatever. It is what it is, you know. Yeah, it is what it is, and and like, I always wanted to do something, I don't know what you would say, miraculous, I guess. Like during this Christmas season, and like I said, we already had the toy drive, which I was really disappointed in. And so, anyway, it had been brought to my attention that there was a woman at church who is in need. And, well, obviously I can't do much to help her. I feel like maybe it was put on my heart for a reason, per se. I was just thinking about that today, but at the same time, I'm like, what can I do, you know? I mean, I made, what, $3-4 total at that toy drive, and I was so hoping I would make a lot more, but that's okay. At least I made that, right? I was so disappointed. I was. And it was so hard not to be bitter towards those people who said they'd be there and they weren't. And there was a youth bowling tournament going on, and I saw some people from church there, and you would think that they would have volunteered, but obviously they didn't. So, you know, that really hurt me. And at least they could have brought a toy, you know. But whatever. You know, because, I mean, they had a raffle going on at that bowling alley, and it was for your bowling tournament to be paid for during the year, and it was $170 or something. You'd think if people had $170, they could afford one toy. Whatever. You know, whatever. But, you know, I'm just saying I would have appreciated some type of support, you know, especially from churchgoers. Whatever. It is what it is. But it, like, crushed me, you know, because I was so excited. I was so happy when it first happened, you know, like, when the whole thing started. I've never been happier in my life, and then all of a sudden, nothing seemed to work out, you know? So anyway, I don't know. Well, anyway, there's this little boy at church who needs some stuff, and I was half tempted to get there, but I don't have that kind of money, you know? And I already helped that one person who needed help for their grandma, oh my goodness, their daughter. I don't even know where that came from, sorry. But yeah, that was something else that I would have liked to do. I mean, I did it, but you know what I mean. Like, it could be so much better. And I'm just waiting on a miracle, I guess. Waiting on, like, the world to change. Sorry, every 2 seconds I have to pause this video because it's, like, so annoying, because doors are opening and people are wheeling the carts, and they do it, like, at, like, 1,000,000 miles per hour. So, you know, I don't want that to be included in any of this. Okay, so I forgot what my whole point was before, and I guess the reason was that I heard a sermon on Sunday, I think, before church. I don't even know when it was, but whatever, it doesn't really matter. And it said, do not be bitter. And I was thinking, wow, you know, And that's what has really helped me, I guess, through this whole thing. Because, obviously, yeah, it's easy to become that way. Especially when people don't do what they're supposed to be doing and said that they would be doing and stuff like that, So I was like beside myself. If you see there aren't really any videos. There's like so many pictures though, of me when this first shindig started. I was so happy. I haven't been any happier in my whole entire life, you guys. Like, seriously, And I'm still thinking maybe this was a test or something. I don't know. But I don't want another one. And I certainly don't want to do this again because nobody does anything, And I'm not trying to complain per se, but I'm just making it clear, that nobody does anything. And, like I said before, we're dealing with a lot of poverty. And, so, like, I'm not really relying on the people here then, because of it. So, yeah, that was what happened on Saturday, and it was not good, because, like, it didn't produce anything, So, yeah, I don't know. You know what I mean? We're not getting anywhere with this conversation, number one, right now. And number two, with the whole ordeal, Hi. So I've been thinking about that woman at church who needs help for her kid. And I'm kind of thinking that maybe God wouldn't have put it on my heart unless he wanted me to do something about it. You know what I mean? So I'm thinking that maybe I should go ahead and try to do that and believe that he's going to rescue me, deliver me from this, So basically, yeah, that's what I've been thinking about lately, and hoping and praying that it all works out and that this person is going to be okay. And I'm trying to put others before me, obviously, and I'm trying to see how things can be delivered. You can be delivered from things,